What's up, guys? All right, kicking it off for today. We'll start with the Euro and a DXY, doing a little bit of the two at the same time. Reason being, just given their context. So, if we have a bit of a look at the moment, obviously we're super bullish since getting that mitigation at the end of last week on the Euro. Did respect it. We've now broken to the upside, retested, pushed up again, induced a retest of the 15-minute external break, but I've obviously disregarded it. Coming towards our decisional area now, but we are extremely bullish into it. So if I'm going to be looking for sells from here, I do need it to slow down, generate some more liquidity, give me something like this to better work with. I'll then work with something like that as a smart money trap, ideally, and then look to obviously sell it down from there, just following that external momentum. However, given the demand that we are coming from, we very well can buy it from where we are. Preferably, I would like to buy it, to be honest. We've just got a long way to come down to be able to buy it. If we came down into this area as well, I'd be open to selling through it, just given what we've induced and all this liquidity running across along here. But quite frankly, my ideal scenario today would be buys. We very well can sell from here though, given its context, as well as the DXY is actually about to induce its retest of its 15-minute and 1 hour external break that we've got just there. So it's about to sweep that, lining up with the Euro mitigating the decisional. So we'll see what that wants to do. But as it stands right now, I'm not going to be looking to go against this momentum for starters, but also as well. We've got nothing to work with as is in terms of like recent structure. It's very, very bullish. So happy to sit on my hands and just let that one do its thing and develop some structure for the week. Because yeah, as it stands, I'm not keen. Um, Sweet. GU G is obviously at the bottom of its extreme leg. We are further mitigating this whole area here. This point here, that point of mitigation that we had just there was the last area of imbalance that we've got on the 4 hour for that entire leg. And given that this is the decision of our 4 hour break, we can very well buy up from where we are. It does make sense, but given obviously context, it may have a bit of a sell-off soon. So there's two different options that I'm looking at. One, we're at the bottom of our 15-minute external leg. We're close to our decisional and we're about to induce the retest into the mitigation of it. What I like with GU compared to EU is one, how close our retest inducement point is to our mitigation. We're going to get the inducement straight into the mitigation. So I do really like that. And it's a bit slower in its retracement up inside of this leg here. So we're building up good liquidity just here. So if we can continue to sort of work our way up a little bit, just keep generating that liquidity, I'll be very keen to sell from the mitigation of that area or the inducement of it. Either I'm perfectly fine with. However, I do actually also like buys off of this retest point here. It is the 50% of Asia. It is retest of this 5-minute internal break. So if we can get this, confirm this retest area as a smart money trap, I'm then happy to buy up from there. We do just need to monitor what the euro is going to do, though, just to make sure we're not fighting some sort of divergence. If we get the euro coming into this area here and GU still respecting, it is going to make it a little bit tricky. Just having a quick look at EG. So EG is obviously quite bullish at the minute. It is retracing inside of the 4 hour external break, which it's just had last week. So we'll monitor and see how it does want to shape up. It does make a lot of sense for the euro to keep, EG to keep pushing up to at least get to this area here, which is retest of our hourly break. Also is, the extreme of the 15-minute leg. So it may push off from there, as it did also induce a little bit of liquidity. So we'll monitor what that does, but it does make sense for EG to keep buying, which will which will have the euro obviously more or less the stronger divergence compared to what we see on GU. So if we do have the euro mitigate the decisional and GU still pushes and we get EU melting, I'm not going to be as keen to buy GU from here if we've got the euro doing this, just because it won't make a lot of sense for GU to outweigh what EU is doing and have GU buy if the euro is obviously selling off. That is until we get to a point of inducement. Like, for example, if we had both of them inducing at the same time, that would make a little bit more sense. Even if euro was inducing something like this and mitigating this area, because it has taken a little bit of liquidity on the 5-minute, and it is a supply to demand area, you may see something like that, and we can look to buy. GU would be the one I'd be looking to buy, given its target of what it's got. Um, so yeah, we'll monitor how that wants to shape up. But if we can get a bit of a sell off from where we are, that'd be great because I'm happy to buy GU. Euro, I don't believe this is enough to push it down very far. If it's going to push it down, I believe it's enough to push it down for a bit of a retracement, nothing too substantial. So we'll yeah, see what that wants to do and see where it wants to sit. But I do like GU sells from there if we can come up and get it, especially if we get the inducement of that around the same time as EU mitigating. That'd be really, really clean. But otherwise, yeah, I want to keep following with this momentum. AU's following along really nicely with the outlook that I had towards the end of last week. With us buying from this demand area here, we've since had bullish break and retest. So quite simple on AU. We're coming from our extreme of our hourly and 15-minute leg, and we've shown signs of bullish price action since. So what I want to see is if we can come down, induce the retest, 50% of Asia. I'm literally happy to buy straight off that. Or if we can come down into our decisional area, I'll buy for the decisional. Just depends on where we want to come to. I'm not going to try and sell into it. We've got no reason to try and sell where we are. We've swept Asia high. That's great. Fantastic. But I'm not going to do anything with it as is. If we do come down, mitigate somewhere like this, push up without getting an entry, we can look to sell off the sweep of this point, given the significance of it. So we'll, yeah, just need that to develop. But this may be a day of developing price action. We are just at highs at the moment, especially on EU and AU. GU's in a bit of a better spot as we haven't necessarily taken our structural points just yet, but EU and AU are at highs. So they do need to develop some structure. So we'll allow them to do that. It is Monday. I don't know what news we've got. We'll have a quick look, and that can give us a bit more of a story on what to expect. Got a little bit of orange folder on the euro. Sorry, on FX Street with euro. I'm going to say there's nothing on Forex Factory. Yep, fucking what do you know? Nothing on Forex Factory. So got no red folder today, no significant news. So no news Monday. We can expect price to potentially be a little bit on the slower side of things. So we'll just monitor that, not do anything crazy. Let's just wait, make sure we've got good price action. You don't need anything fucking crazy to have a good week. So let's yeah, let's make sure that we're making the right decisions, smart decisions, trade from the right areas. If it's not in the right areas, don't trade. It's pretty bloody simple. So I'll just be monitoring for a sweep here, a mitigation here, watch for some sort of divergence or buyers down here pending mitigation of this. And yeah, I'll be looking for buyers off of the sweep of that area there, and that will do me.